I'm trying to make this video, but my dog is just barking up, driving me up a wall. We got coyote issues again. She'll bark all night. Oh, anyhow, excuse me. I was watching a video this past summer, or a podcast, with Matt Bracken. I like Matt Bracken. Navy SEAL. Wrote a lot of books. He was talking about, he's been around the world and in situations where people would pay a lot or trade something of value for a bar of soap. I thought, And the one he talks about, the favorite, is it's the soap. It's been around for, everyone's seen it. It's Dial soap. Very, been around for 100 years. Dial antibacterial soap. It's considered the cleaningest of all soaps. It's a microbial soap or something like that. It tears my skin up. I can't use it. But I know that because I've had some under my sink here for a dozen years. But he said that's the kind of soap that, if things ever get bad enough or whatever, pick your scenario where cleanliness is going to be an issue. That's something of value. Something you could purchase now. It would last forever. Soap will dry out, maybe crack a little bit, but it's still soap. And you could also trade it. It's a trade item. I always like this topic. And I'm thinking, I haven't talked about this stuff in a long, long time with anybody, especially here on YouTube. And I thought, I wonder if I'm missing, if there's something new that I haven't considered. We have solar power now, and there's batteries are way more efficient now. And so maybe there's another trade, something I haven't thought of. I'll tell you the ones. The bar soap I think is a good idea, especially because you can buy it. It's like $1.25 a bar, I think, is what they go for. It's not going to break your arm, and it's easy to store, and you could use it in the future. But we eat a lot of rice in my family, a lot of pilaf. I know because I'm the cook. And I've been using rice, long grain white rice, that I packaged when Obama was president. Okay? So that's got to be, what was it, a dozen years ago? Close to. I want to say it was 2014 is when I probably stored it. But what I do is I would go out and buy, typically I would just go out and buy whatever rice was on sale. Around here we have Mahatma, I think they call it. It's just your basic long grain rice. It tastes like cardboard, okay? From now on, I just buy jasmine rice because that you could eat it just as rice and it's delicious. It's great texture, really a nice quality rice. If you don't know, there's many different breeds of rice. But anyhow, I would go up whatever's on sale, bring it home, put it in the deep freeze. 3, 4, 5 days. So any bugs or anything floating around in there from its travels is all dead. Bring it out, let it sit overnight, goes back to room temperature. And I open it up and I put it in these 1 gallon Ziploc bags. And then usually I'll buy a new clean 5 gallon bucket with a lid. I got these 1 gallon Ziploc bags full of rice stuck inside this 5 gallon bucket. That's good. Good tight lid. And I go throw it in my storage container. This stuff's 10 years old. We're eating it right now. It's delicious. Okay, let's, beans and rice and ammo. Everyone says no big deal. But I got to thinking, you can sell that. You can trade that rice. It's still got value. Okay. So I never thought of rice as a potential trade item. And so what I'll end up doing is I store a lot of rice. I'm just going to store a lot more. And like I said, I didn't get the Mylar bags. I didn't go through all that stuff. But this stuff's 10 years old. I didn't give it any special care, and it's still great. And you can see in the Ziploc, there's no bugs floating around or dead bugs or anything like that. It all came out perfect. Low cost, easy peasy, nothing to it. Another one maybe components of it or the whole thing or whatever. And I don't know how legit this is, but I've seen it a million times on YouTube, where someone will take charcoal, sand, and rock and make a water filter. Now, I don't know if that's purifying the water or if it's just filtering it in a sense, but I believe there's some purification going on there. Some people argue this. I'm not going to argue it because I'm not an expert at this. But you have your 5-gallon buckets, then you have that next size down. You take those smaller ones. They'll usually take 3 buckets, some screen, some charcoal, the rock, and the sand. Add your water, and it drips through and cleans your water. Really not that expensive to build or that difficult. There's a million videos. That's something you could use and be a trade item. Or just the charcoal. You got the know-how. And I got a couple 5-gallon buckets filled with charcoal. Just for that purpose. Okay, if I get some time, I'll make a water filter, see if it works. And then make multiples of it, see if they work. And, so I have some experience with it. I just haven't had the time. I've got too many projects right now. But that's one of them. I've got the buckets. I got the sand. I got all that stuff. But I thought, well, that's a trade item. If you made a small bucket size charcoal filter for water, I'm sure that would be a popular item. And right now the stuff is cheap to make it. If it cost you, if you had, let's see, if you made one, it couldn't cost you $20. But let's say it did. $20, you got 5 of it's a $100 bill you spent, and who knows what that would be worth down the road. And I can't imagine it's not like it's something that would spoil, But I could be wrong. I'm just spitballing. There was another one. What was it? I think tire kits. I've dealt with a lot of tire kits. I do a lot of tire, when you have like golf carts with rubber tires going around the golf course with golf tees all over the place laying on the ground. I can stop. I can fix a flat, But if tire kits, that was the other one. You can. They're pretty cheap now, but if you had the components of it, I know the glue doesn't last long if you open it and put it back together and think it's gonna salvage it. But you can buy that stuff separately. But tire kits, like whether it's a patch or plug, I've plugged many. We typically will plug them. You go in and you rough it up, and then you put that thing in, but they're real effective. I've used them many times. Golf carts, big trucks, you name it. And there may come a time when fixing a tire, I would buy the kits now, just keep them intact, as long as you know how to use them. But I think tire kits would be a pretty good trade item. Or it's, as a skill. You can buy actually the dope or the glue for that stuff. You can actually buy it in a larger container. And you might even be able to use other glues, caulking of some kind. You're just trying to keep air in this thing, In certain scenarios, I can see where people would be too picky. What's another one I was thinking of? Anyhow, that's why I made the video. I got you the bar soap, rice, water filter, and tire kits. I'm wondering, and I'm doing this for selfish reasons, is there a trade item? There's always talk about bullets, and that's kind of a dangerous one. Beans, that's another one. But is there any, is there a trade item out there that might be something new or something that I just forgotten about? I'm trying to pick up an idea here. If you guys got something, I'll gladly run it down. But I gave you my best 4 at this time. But make a video, make a comment. Let me know what you think. Trade items, things you would trade if, inflation got real bad or money's, they burn this thing into the ground or whatever. And we're waiting for the phoenix from the ashes. In the meantime, we're making commerce, skills and goods. Let me know what you think. I want to know if you guys got any new ideas. Love you. God bless.